With so many Americans working from home, it is unfortunately a prime time for hackers to try to steal our personal information and create data breaches. But there are some things we can do to help keep our information private. We're joined now via Skype with Ted Kim, the CEO of Private Internet Access. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Mr. Kim, we appreciate it. Where are you Skyping in from us this morning?
I'm in Los Angeles right now.
Los Angeles? I'm jealous. Is the weather good out there?
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. We've had a little rain over the last couple of weeks, but it's looking really good now.
Well, awesome. Awesome. It's so good to speak with you. You know, there are so many different risks, technology. We need technology, but there are risks involved. Hackers want to steal our information all the time. What are some of those risks and dangers currently? Because a lot of people are working from home and might accidentally click something they weren't supposed to click.
Yeah, 100%. The biggest risk is that when you're at home, you tend to get distracted a lot. So even from a work-from-home environment, people are not typically used to working from home. So they're not used to having their kids around all the time, or they're not being pulled away for home deliveries or whatever you're getting. And now with everybody, getting deliveries at home and their kids being at home all the time, there's a lot of stuff going on every day. And when that happens, if you get distracted and you don't keep your guard up all the time, then things could happen. Phishing attacks are typically the way that people break into your computer or your network. And that's typically when somebody might send you an email from, like the World Health Organization. And you might click on that looking for information, up-to-date information on COVID-19, and it leads you into downloading a piece of software that you should not have done. So that's typically how it works, and that capitalizes on people's thirst and need really for more information, and then also being distracted.
So what would you tell somebody, because I'm guilty of that myself. I'm researching things every day, trying to keep up to date on what the COVID-19 numbers are and the health issues of the day. If somebody gets an email, how do you know if you should click on it or not? I think that's the number one question people have is, I think people are trusting and they want to think they're getting information the best way. But these hackers, this is the best time to jump on people during a crisis.
100%, and it's ruthless. A lot of times, a lot of the information doesn't correlate. So you might get a lot of misspellings. You might see some typos in either the email header, or else if you look at the email itself, it won't come from the World Health Organization. It might come from someplace else. But people are very, very clever about hiding things like that. But at the same time, with the quantity of emails going out, remember, hackers typically don't identify you and try to figure out how to breach your computer. They're bombing, right? So they're mass. These things are going out to tons of people at the same time. And so if people click on it, then you've become the target. So you yourself can become the target just inadvertently. So you just have to be very careful about what you're clicking on. If you get an email from somebody who you don't know, or an organization you don't understand, or you see obvious misspellings, then don't click on that.
Better be safe than sorry.
Don't fire into it.
Yeah, don't click. We're seeing a lot of TV shows, a lot of newscasts. They're using Zoom, the video conferencing platform Zoom. Now, are there any security risks with using Zoom?
Sure. Zoom's done a really great job of trying to fix these risks as they develop. But Zoom wasn't really built for what it's being utilized for now. Suddenly we had millions of people sitting at home and then suddenly utilizing Zoom overnight. So they've done a really great job of keeping up. But, it goes back to basic security measures. You can go into your Zoom account and make your meeting room private so other people from the outside cannot come into it, which is a huge thing. You can't have people Zoom bombing.
Well, that's right. I've actually heard of that, of a girl going into certain classrooms. Teachers were teaching, and they would Zoom bomb into these classrooms, and they were just for fun. They weren't doing it to learn anything. They were doing it just to bomb them. I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's wild. But, people might do it people do things for crazy reasons. But, if you're trying to run a serious call and then somebody comes in and they're bombing you with profanity, pornographic images, all kinds of things because they're able to access your meeting room, that's obviously very counterproductive and destructive on many levels.
Yeah. And I'm curious, too, just what are your thoughts, on government using surveillance technology to kind of track COVID-19, but also trying to enforce the social distancing. I would just love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's a really tricky, slippery slope, right? You have, on the one hand, you have extreme privacy concerns where you're talking about the health and welfare of the community at large, as well as protecting the health information of individuals. You certainly don't want your health information being broadcast to everybody in your community, much less the world. And we have laws about that. I mean, hospitals can't do it, doctors can't do it. Your employer cannot disclose your health information. But at the same time, there is a community need. But it's a delicate balance. You get into these privacy concerns, and just the same way, you don't want everything in your household to be broadcast to the world. You don't want every moment of your life to be out there. You do need some privacy in your life, and you do have the ability to be able to kind of monitor that yourself. I mean, self-check, make sure that you self-isolate. If you see these ideas, and now as we convert more to a digital life, where we're always connected over the last few years, but now we have active connections. We're on all the time now, and the more that we're active in your digital life, then you got to make sure, like common sense, wash your hands, check your passwords, don't click on links, don't touch things that you shouldn't be looking at, or you don't know what it is. Don't stick them in your mouth. Don't rub,
It's
like
using
that.
a lot of common sense too. Which you got to use in this day and age. Now, if somebody wants to find out more information about your business and staying safe, what's the best way to reach you or find out more about your business?
Yeah, come into privateinternetaccess.com. We have a great blog in there that covers a lot of security risks and privacy concerns and how to protect yourself. I mean, obviously, it's another layer of protection that you can have. But for what we look out there, we have all these concerns. We have financial concerns. We have people getting charged less for your auto insurance, right?
Right.
Because you're not driving as much.
Exactly.
But because you need more protection from a digital standpoint, and that's kind of where we come in. We can help.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your help and your wisdom in this uncertain times, Mr. Ted Kim. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for Skyping in with us this morning.
Thanks so much, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome. It's good to be safe in this time of technology because,
Yes.
things happen. Because you think you're entering a password and
Yes.
somebody's trying to breach you.
This happens. I had to change my credit card the other day just from that sort of thing. And you can get on a private window and you think that's not always going to work either.
And
So-
trust your gut. By the way, if something doesn't feel right or if somebody sends you an email out of the blue, normally somebody has sold your email, they're trying to scam you. So don't click on anything. Call your grandchildren and ask them.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, Kelly," like they know you. That's the kind of thing, and don't fall for that.
Do not. And it's easy because you want to believe the best in people, but I'm telling you, there are some scammers out there.
Think about this. We've got a lot more time on our hands right now, and people are not using it all for the good right now.
Yeah.
I had somebody contact me, or they're scamming your profiles or whatever. I'm like, hey, take this time and do something good with it. Stop, taking the time to scam people and just use your time well.
That's just the point.
Use your
Just
time
use
well.
your time well.
Absolutely.
Yes, coming up in the next hour, we're going to be making Tex-Mex burritos, and I posted a picture of a burrito on our Facebook page. So go, leave a comment, and we'll read them live on the air during our community cuisine. Don't go anywhere. More fun on Ozarks Fox AM right after
I can't
this.
wait. Can't wait.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Yes.
I'm going to eat a burrito.
Your grandma's burritos.